The night air felt heavier than rain, pressing down on the quiet bus stop where broken streetlights flickered like tired eyes refusing to close. Ethan Cross had built skyscrapers, bought companies, and signed deals worth millions, yet in that moment he felt smaller than he ever had in any boardroom. His tailored coat could not protect him from the loneliness clinging to his chest, and the silence around him screamed louder than any failure he had ever faced. Just as the last bus lights disappeared into the distance, a small presence beside him shifted the weight of the night forever, making him realize that sometimes the most life-changing moments arrive when you believe you are completely lost. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and unseen miracles, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this, and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them the most. Ethan Cross was known across the city as a self-made CEO, a single father, and a man who never slowed down. After losing his wife, Laura, to a sudden illness 5 years earlier, his life had turned into a carefully controlled machine. He raised his daughter, Sophie, with discipline and structure, making sure she had everything money could buy, yet something essential was always missing. His days were filled with meetings, flights, and endless pressure, while his nights were haunted by memories he refused to face. That evening, his driver had cancelled unexpectedly, forcing him to wait at a public bus stop for the first time in years, a place he had long forgotten existed. It felt symbolic, as if life itself had stripped away his usual armor to remind him how vulnerable he truly was. Beside him sat a small boy named Noah Parker, his shoes mismatched and his jacket too thin for the cold. Noah was autistic, and the world often overwhelmed him with sounds, lights, and unpredictable movements. He had wandered away from a nearby community center after feeling overstimulated, drawn instead to the quiet rhythm of buses arriving and leaving. His mind worked differently, noticing details others ignored, feeling emotions in waves that came without warning. When he looked at Ethan, he did not see a wealthy businessman or a powerful figure. He saw a man carrying sadness so heavy it bent his posture. In Noah's world, emotions were colors, and Ethan was painted in deep shades of blue and gray. Ethan initially noticed Noah only as a blur in his peripheral vision, but something about the child's stillness pulled his attention back. There was no fear in the boy's presence, only curiosity and an unusual calm. As minutes passed, Ethan felt an ache rising in his chest, a reminder of the daughter waiting at home, probably asleep with unanswered questions about why her father was always busy. The bus stop became a suspended moment in time, where two lives from completely different worlds hovered on the edge of something meaningful. Noah's mother, Rachel Parker, had been searching frantically nearby, her heart pounding with guilt and fear. Raising Noah alone after her husband passed away had taught her resilience, but moments like this reminded her how fragile everything was. She worked 2 jobs, fought endless battles with school systems that did not understand her son, and lived in constant worry about his safety. While she searched, Noah remained at the bus stop, strangely comforted by the shared silence with Ethan, as if both of them were waiting for answers neither could name. Ethan's thoughts drifted back to the early days after Laura's death, when Sophie would sit beside him in silence, mirroring his grief without knowing how to express it. He remembered pushing those moments aside, choosing productivity over pain, believing that success would eventually fill the emptiness. Yet standing there now, he felt the truth settle in: no amount of money could replace genuine connection. The presence of this quiet child cracked something open inside him, stirring emotions he had buried for years. When Rachel finally arrived, breathless and trembling, relief washed over her as she saw Noah safe. Her gratitude toward Ethan was immediate, though unspoken, conveyed through tear-filled eyes and a posture that softened as tension released its grip. Ethan felt something unfamiliar bloom in his chest, a sense of purpose not tied to profit or performance. He learned about Noah's condition, about Rachel's struggles, and about a world he had never truly seen despite living among millions of people. Over the following weeks, Ethan found himself thinking about Noah constantly. He arranged to meet Rachel again, offering support through his company's charitable foundation, but soon realized that what they needed most was not money. He began spending time with Noah, learning how to communicate through patience, routine, and understanding. Noah, in turn, responded with trust, finding comfort in Ethan's steady presence. Through Noah's unique way of experiencing the world, Ethan started to see life differently, appreciating small victories and quiet moments he once dismissed as insignificant. Sophie noticed the change in her father before anyone else. He came home earlier, listened more, and laughed in a way she had not heard since her mother was alive. She met Noah and formed a gentle bond with him, discovering empathy and compassion beyond her years. The Cross household slowly transformed from a place of emotional distance into a home filled with warmth and acceptance. Rachel, too, found healing in this unexpected connection. For the first time since her husband's death, she felt seen and supported, not as a burden or a problem, but as a strong woman raising an extraordinary child. Ethan's respect for her resilience grew into something deeper, rooted in shared experiences of loss and hope. Together, they navigated challenges, celebrated milestones, and built a community centered on understanding and inclusion. Ethan eventually used his influence to create programs within his company that supported neurodiverse individuals, offering opportunities where society often closed doors. His board members were surprised by this shift, but Ethan no longer measured success by numbers alone. He had learned that true leadership meant lifting others, especially those who were overlooked. Years later, that bus stop remained etched in Ethan's memory as the place where his life quietly changed direction. Noah continued to grow, thriving in an environment that honored his differences rather than trying to erase them. Sophie grew into a compassionate young woman, inspired by the lessons she witnessed firsthand. Rachel found stability and hope, her faith in humanity restored by an unexpected act of kindness. Just before this story ends, we want to ask you something special. Please comment the word hope if you believe that small moments can change lives, and tell us what this story made you feel. As the city lights glowed brighter and the noise of life continued, Ethan understood that being lost was not always a bad thing. Sometimes, it was the first step toward being found. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, share, and comment to let us know. Your engagement helps keep stories of kindness and second chances alive, reminding the world that even in the quietest places, miracles can happen.